Hey, what's going on guys, LS6 here and welcome back to another GTA 5 video. Alright, in this video I will be showing you how to actually edit videos with the Rockstar's video editor that's in the PC version only. First of all, what you need to know about the Rockstar's video editor is that you need to record something first in order to edit it later. So, in order to record something, you have two options to record it. The first option is very simple. You just press F1 on your keyboard. Right there, F1, and as you can see, it gives you a timer. So while the timer is running, make sure you do all your stunts or your entire scene, whatever it is that you want to record, and it usually gives you like 30 seconds, maybe sometimes even more, to record what you want. And at any point you can press F1 again to stop recording, or if the timer runs out, it will stop recording automatically. So yeah, I'm just gonna press F1 and it's gonna give you an info that a clip has been saved right there. So that's the first option to record clips, which you can later on edit in the video editor. So that was the first option. Now you have another option which I like better, and that option requires you to enable it first, and you enable this option by pressing F2. As you can see, action replay on. That's how the option is called. It's called action replay. At any time you can disable this option by pressing F3. Now, alright, there you go, I just disabled it, but since I need to show you how to record while that option is on, I'm gonna enable it again. Press F2 to enable it, like I said. Now, what you need to remember about this option is that it always records your last 30 seconds or so of what you're doing right now. So if I, for example, I don't know, I say I want to do like a little spin-off right here with my car, which looks really bad, but for the purpose of this video will do. And if you press F1 while this mode is activated, it will save the last 30 seconds of what I just did there. So the spinning, what I did there, was just recorded. So let's say I want to do this stunt jump again, but record with the second option that I just explained. So I make sure first that I press F2, which will tell me that the action replay is on, and all I have to do now is just drive and do the stunt. As you can see, there is no timer or anything right now because it always records the last 30 seconds of what you do. So I'm doing the stunt again. This time you're not worrying about, you know, the timer that is on the screen that kind of limits you. And as you can see, I did the stunt jump and I want to save it. I just press F1 and it automatically saves the last 30 seconds of what you just did. So it's this is actually the better way to record, if you ask me, because sometimes you might do an unexpected stunt jump while you're just playing, and you just press F1 and it automatically saves that jump, which is what you need to do, because to be honest, most of the stuff that you do in this game, the most awesome stuff, is actually gonna come out unexpectedly. So make sure you have this mode enabled at all times. Now remember, each time you start the game you're gonna need to enable this mode. So right there I just disabled it, but you need to enable it by pressing F2, and you disable it by pressing F3. So remember that in mind. So what I do right off the start, when I start the game, I just press F2 and the action replay is on, so I can go around, cruise around. I don't need to worry about if I recorded something, because if I do something awesome, I just press F1 and it automatically saves the last 30 seconds of what I just did. Sometimes it's more than 30 seconds, sometimes it's less. I'm not sure how that works. So yeah, let's move on to the fun part now, which is the actual video editor where you can change camera angles. You do this by pressing escape on your keyboard, go all the way right here to the Rockstar editor, press enter, and this is the screen that you're gonna see once you open the Rockstar editor. As you can see, you have a bunch of options. You can create a new project, you can load up a project if you already have created a new project. You can manage your clips that you have just recorded, so let's click on that. These are all the clips that I recorded, the last two that I've recorded right now. You can see them right here, and you can of course preview them, or you know, sort them out, delete them if you don't need them. This is the video gallery, which shows all your videos that you have edited. So currently I haven't edited or exported any videos, so I'm not gonna have anything here. These are the tutorials which you can check out if you want something more. So we're gonna start by creating a new project, and of course we're gonna click yes. The only option you have when you start a new project is to add a clip. So we're gonna click enter, and you're gonna see all your recorded clips right here. I'm gonna select my last one that I recorded, press enter, and right here you can see this is the timeline. What you need to remember about this is that you can add a lot of clips here. For example, if you right click on the emptiness here, right click, you can add a clip, you can add a radio track, a score track, you can add text, and of course you can also save the current project. You can give it a name, or you can go full screen preview, so you can preview what you've actually made. So I'm just gonna add another clip, let's say my other clip that I've recorded. And as you can see, it gives you the option to move the clip wherever you want. You can move it all the way to the end, you can move it in the front. At this point I actually moved it at the end, so it's gonna stay there. And this is the first clip, this is the second clip that I've added. You can add on text. Let's try to add a little bit of text here. So blah blah blah, doesn't really matter what I add here. As you can see, you have a lot of options just for the text. I'm not really gonna go into detail on this. You can change the size, position. Always remember that the controls for each option are shown right here, because you can't really remember them all you need to know is that you can quickly see which button does what in the video editor. So if you want to move the text, use the keys. Want to scale it up and down, page up and down, and stuff like that. You can change the color, the font, the opacity, shows how transparent it is, how long does the text stay on the screen. So we're gonna go with 10 seconds. You can confirm that, and you can choose where to add it in the timeline. So I wanted to start from here, and then once the video plays, when it reaches that point, it's gonna show blah 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 on the screen. So at this point I'm just gonna delete the text because I don't really need it. And let's go into the actual fun part. So let's select our first clip and press on it, or press enter again, and it will open up this screen, which is the best part about the video editor. Alright, so the first thing that you need to remember about the video editor right here, this screen, is that you have a lot of options. You can preview the clip by dragging the tick right here to make sure that is the clip that you want to edit. And the other thing you can do is set up your start point or end point. As you can see right here, the car is not doing anything. So let's say I want to cut that part out. I just drag this marker all the way to there. So here we go. That's when the car starts to go forward. So I want the video to start from there. You can also set your end point, which should be around here. I just don't want the rest of the video to be shown after that, so I'm just gonna stop it here. Alright, so once you have set up your start and end points, the other thing that I want to talk about before I move on forward is that you can place markers at any point on the timeline. For example, I want to place a marker here, just press M. Then I want to go forward, maybe here, press M again to place another marker. Now, why are markers important? Because they give you the ability to change the camera from that point. So if I go here, press on that marker, click on cameras, change the camera type to free, because that will give us the ability to move the camera the way we want to move. You can just ignore the look at target and move with target at this point, and you can click on edit camera. So once you open this option up, like I said, just remember to use the controls that are shown right here. You have a lot of options. First option is that you can move the camera forward, backward, you can rotate it with your mouse, you can move around, you can change the height, you can change the the angle at which the camera has been shifted, left or right, roll it whichever way you want. And let's say I want this because this is a really cool camera angle, I'm gonna set it to here. Once you are satisfied with the camera angle and all the options, just press F5. That will save the current camera angle, and then you can press escape. Now if we go ahead and play the video, you can see that once the timeline reaches that point, the camera changes to the one that we just adjusted. And now I'm gonna show you something that you should be aware of, and this is kind of a a big issue, not just for me but for everyone that's going to be editing the videos, is that once the camera gets too far from the car or the player that you're controlling, the camera sort of goes back to its default state. As you can see, camera out of range, reset to nearest default. Why does this happen? Because Rockstar has limited the camera distance from the player or the car that you're controlling. For example, you can't place the camera all the way up to the sky or just go somewhere else. You need to be close to your car or player that you're controlling, because if you go too far, the camera will just reset. And as you can see right here, the whole effect of placing our camera has been lost. How do you fix this? Well, there's a very simple sort of fix. You go right where the camera switches to back to its normal position, and you place a new marker. And at this point you go again to cameras, edit camera, and you just move the camera closer to your car, let's say right here. Press F5 again, wait for it to sort of save here, press escape, and now the camera is gonna go from this point on all the way to the next point that you've just set without resetting. Now, since the camera here goes to static again, we will get the bug again. Let's see where there we go, we just got it right here. Camera out of range, reset at the nearest default. So the only way to fix this is to make the camera move with the car. And how do you do that? Well, that's very simple actually. First of all, there is a very sort of default option that you can do, and for that option you don't really need any of the markers, so you can delete all the markers that you have just placed. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is that the start point and the end point are also markers which you can press and change the camera, just like you normally would with any other marker that I've just showed you. Now, you have a bunch of options here, and one of the options that you can choose is, you know, bunch of presets: rear, left, right, front, and game camera. This is pretty much the game camera, is the camera which you've moved while you were recording this, so you don't really want to choose that because it's not really good. The least you want to do is pretty much go either, I don't know, preset right or preset left, and now if you play the video you're gonna see that the camera is gonna stay with the car and you're not gonna get that stupid bug that I just talked about. But also this kind of limits your camera to just move, to be stuck at this point and just see the left side of the car, and that's really boring. So the other thing that you can do, and this is the best part about this video editor, is that you can customize the camera to move the way that you want to move while still being close to the car and not getting that stupid bug that I really hate a lot. And you do that by going into the blend mode right here, and you click on smooth. Now what this is gonna do is gonna move the camera from all the markers that you're gonna set up on the screen. For example, this is the first marker, like I said, the beginning marker. You set the blend mode to smooth, and you go ahead and adjust the camera in a cool way, let's say kind of the similar way that I did before. Save it, and right now you just play the video. And once the camera gets out of range, like it does right here, just go a bit back when the camera was in range, like right here. Press M, go to cameras, edit camera, and move the camera forward to your car, like right here. Let's say let's switch it up a bit, maybe even tilt it a bit left. I don't know, whatever looks cool for you guys, just go ahead and do that. And now, as you can see, if we go back from the beginning and play the video, the camera moves with the car in a really cool way, and we still get that out of reach. Sometimes we're gonna get it more than we like. Now once you get that camera out of range, just go back a bit on the timeline, press M, press on cameras, edit camera, and go ahead and move the camera closer to the car. Now I'm gonna move it right here, let's say. Alright, this looks like a cool shot. F5 to save it, press escape, and you're gonna have to keep doing this which is kind of annoying, I know, but as you can see, the camera goes kind of out of reach right here. And in order to fix that, so you actually looking at the car all the times, is you go and select this last marker, click on cameras, and you edit the camera, of course. well, let's find our car. It's right here. Alright, so I want it to end, let's say, like this. Press F5 to save it. So there you go. Now what the camera is gonna do is go straight to that point, from this point on all the way to the end. So if you're good enough, if you can predict where the car is gonna sort of land and if it's gonna stay in picture, then you could pretty much set up the end point and the start point, and in between you can just add markers. For example, the car right here goes out of frame. Press M, go to cameras, edit camera, move the camera a bit up so it actually looks at the car that you wanna get into this shot. Of course, F5 to save that camera angle. Press escape again, and then if we preview it, let's see what's gonna happen. Right now the camera is in the shot. Looks really cool. It ends like this. So there you go. Just keep in mind that once you get that error message that the camera is out of range, just place another marker just before that camera out of range happens. Edit the camera so it's closer to the car, and you should just experiment and see what you can do with this. It's really just a powerful tool. Alright, now once we got the sort of the camera angles out of the way, as you can see, this is really cool. What you can do is change some other things, not just the camera angle. For example, you have the depth of field. So why don't we go ahead and do that? So you have a default option which sets the focus for you. Now let me first show you what does this do. Alright, if you're not sure what this does, it basically adds a little bit of blur in the background, and it focuses mainly on the things that you want to focus. So there we go. At this point I'm sort of focused right here at the car, and everything else is blurred out. You can control how much blurriness there is. If you really want to go extreme, then go 100%, otherwise go somewhere around 75. You can go ahead and change the mode here to manual, and you can adjust the focus distance. So this gives you the option to focus on whichever sort of subject you want to focus. I'm gonna focus on the car. As you can see, car is kind of in focus here, which means it's not blurred, while the background is blurred. And you can go ahead and set the focus separately for each marker. So click on the new marker that you want to do it, and as you can see, you can change the mode again to custom, change the intensity to whatever it is that you want, the mode again to manual, or you can change it to target the player, so that way the focus always stays on the player and you don't have to worry about anything else, which means that your car and the player will always be in focus, giving you that nice cinematic look. Make sure you press F5 to save it. Once you're happy with the settings, you can go ahead here and adjust the focus for all these remaining shots. And once you're happy with all the focus settings that you just did, let's say at this point I want to slow down the video, since it's kind of a cool shot and I don't want it to go full speed. I want it to go maybe in a slow motion. You do that by pressing the marker that's close to the part where you want to slow down. Or let's say you want just this part, the ending, to be slowed. Then you press M, and all you need to do is go to the speed option, select it to 50% or even more. And the more you sort of slow it down, the slower it will play on. So let's see how this plays. Alright, that's pretty slow. I like that. Alright, that's good. As you can see, if you have slowed down the footage, sort of the line right here that was blue before, it will go kind of to show you that this part right here of the video has been slowed down, so you know it's slowed down and it's not playing at normal speed. The other things that you can do here is you can change the audio intensity of each individual, sound effects. You got dialogue, you got music, score. Now the other thing that you can do is change the filter, and this filter pretty much gives you a different sort of color correction to the whole scene. I really like this one. You can also change the intensity, you can change the saturation yourself, you can add more saturation, you can contrast it however you want. Now, like I said, each marker gives you a different option to change the filter. You can keep the same filter if you want, or you can change it to a different filter. So let's see here, if I go here, the filter changes, and then because I changed the filter right here, it's gonna change to that filter as well. So make sure you play around with the settings and add as much markers as you like. At the end, all you have to do is just press F5 and save all those settings. Once you're happy with the clip, go ahead and press escape, enter, and now you have that clip edited. So you can go ahead and edit it again by clicking on it again, or you can go back to save the project, you know, just save it if you're happy with it. And you can, of course, you can go full screen preview to preview the project. Now it's gonna take a while, but as you can see, this is the scene that I created. A little bit out of focus there, the colors are changing, and that was it. And of course, once you're happy with your entire project or clips, click on export. You can select your frame rate at which you want the video to be rendered at. You can select the bitrate, whatever it is, and you click export, and there you go. You can name it however you want it. I'm just gonna name it project 1. Sure, you want to export, blah blah blah, yes. And you know, this screen is gonna show up. Of course, you're gonna have a little watermark on the top left corner showing your name and the name of the clip. Once you do that, as you can see, it's not the best clip, but it features everything that needs to be featured for you guys to learn how to edit this. Now, once the video is exported, you can go into your video gallery that's located in your Rockstar editor. You can upload your video to YouTube by pressing space, and blah blah blah. You can go ahead and upload if you want. So hopefully in this video you guys learned something about the video editor, and in next video I will be going over the director mode, which is a really interesting tool as well. Until then, see you guys next time and have a great day.